Well, at last, good morning, everyone. Sorry about being a bit late. We're half an hour behind the game, and with something happened last night with our Wi-Fi. Not sure what it was, and we couldn't reconnect, and all sorts of things. We're in an Airbnb apartment here, but anyway, hopefully that won't happen again, and we can maintain our usual schedule. So some interesting stuff going on right now on the tracker, of course. The big question mark is what the heck is Kirsten doing going southeast? But we'll give you some suggestions in a minute. And if we look at the leaderboard, there's some interesting things happening in that everyone's the same, even though the distances are changing dramatically. So from distances from Cape Town. So Simon's still number one. Tapio, Kirsten, you can read the stats there. Simon did 135 miles yesterday. Tapio 118. Kirsten only managed 88 because she was going towards the centre of the high. Pat 71. Abelish only 42. He's still bogged down there by the look of it, but it's just about to get out. He was stuck well and truly in the middle of the high, and Damien's breathing on his hammer. He's just Abelish just sat there for the whole period. But anyway, Goog's doing well, so the leaderboard is kind of interesting now. Daisy. I'll just get rid of that. Sorry, that's Seb calling me, wondering what's going on. Grab that. Okay. All right. So yeah. I'm hoping this is still going live. Yes, it is. It looks like it is. Maybe it was ringing me to tell me it's not there. Seb's not here in Cape Town at the moment. So back on track here. We'll go to the back end of the fleet first, get them out of the way. Not sure what's happening with Guy. There might be a message here. I haven't just got back online, so I haven't read the tweets for this morning. But something dramatic is going on with Guy. He's now heading back in the opposite direction. No idea. Maybe he's changed his mind with what's happening. We'll find out soon. And that could have been Seb ringing me to tell me now that he can see I'm back up. So watch this space. I have no idea what's going on. Suhaili's doing well, coming down. Nord's tracking along, doing well, 5 knots, so he's happy with that. Ian Herbert Jones, 6 knots, and Elliot also doing well at 6 knots. They're all heading straight for Cape Town by the look of it, but they're still a long way off, so it doesn't matter. They've got breeze and it's happening, and in terms of the next few days, going to get interesting headwinds coming up, and that'll go over the top of Elliot as well. Nord will be okay because he's above this ridge, which is part of the squashing up of the high. So not a lot happening there. The main game is at the front here right now. We'll come back, and everyone's moving. So Jeremy's doing 6 knots, but still, probably his barnacles are frustrating him, whether that's slowing him down, whatever. Urton doing 7 knots, flying along. Captain Goog in Nuri, he's doing well, 6 knots as well. Damien started to move. He was also bogged down, and I'll do a little video replay in a minute of the fleet. It's fascinating to watch what's happened in the last week. So at least he's underway again, 4.7 knots, and he has gained ground again on the leaders, or the middle pack leaders. Abelish just sat there. He will be absolutely pulling his hair out, making 4.4 knots. Strangely, he's headed back into the centre of the low again, centre of the high. I'm not sure why. You'd sort of think that he knows there's not much wind there. It's come over him. He's got the breeze, but it is going to go over the top of him. So he's making his own game plan. Pat's being consistent, heading for the mark now. 4.5 knots, not as fast as the leaders, but still doing okay. And Kirsten now, in fact, let's go back to Tapio. I'll leave her to the end. They're all on the other side of the high. He's making 5 knots. Interestingly, he's not making Cape Town at the moment, and the wind is 4 to the beam. So Tapio's got a bit of an issue there. He's going to have to keep coming down on this, but as we'll see in a minute, that's still not impossible. Simon's the same, wind 4 to the beam, doing 5.5 knots, heading straight for Cape Town. Normally it would be a challenge, but we'll see shortly this wind is going to change and come to the south. Now Kirsten's an interesting one. She's going so fast, 7.6 knots. I could tell that when she was heading up into the middle here, she knows she's going to the centre of the high. The wind was dropping off. She's going lighter, and when that happens, she can't see what we can see, but she just knows the barometer would be rising. The wind direction's starting to swing a little bit. The wind strength is dropping. She'd be saying, she probably thinks the high's around here somewhere. I don't want to go into the centre high and park like happened to the guys at the back. So she better get a bit further down and get around and under it again. So that's all I can think of. That's what she's thinking. She doesn't know where the centre is at the moment, but she would have been panicking, thinking, I cannot afford to drive into the centre of the high and park, because it can cost you 3 days, So that's all I'm thinking is going on there, and it'll probably mean. Well, let's look at the weather now, and we'll look at the immediate weather, because we'll in a slightly larger scale, because we can still see Cape Town off to the side there. So this is what we've got now. I'm going to animate it so we can. To animate it, someone was asking how to do it. You've got to activate the slide here, because I can change it like that. If you're watching, I can just click and drag it to get to the weather, or I can just hit it to activate it, and then use your left and right keys, and you can go forward. So I'm just pressing the key every time I do them. I'm getting another hour, if you can read that off the scale. Every time I press it, there's another hour. So you can see the breeze has now come back to Kirsten. So this is later this afternoon. This is about 6 o'clock, another 5 hours or so, 6 hours. The breeze is coming back for Kirsten, so she might then start to pick up again. She'll know she's away from the high. She'll see the slight swing of the breeze. Abelish is down here. He doesn't want to keep going on towards the centre. He needs to get going down here. Damien's in the breeze now. He'll roll that down. Tapio's okay. It's coming more from the south, so he can drop his course a little bit. And Simon's looking real good. It's still forward of the beam, but he's still making for Cape Town. This is by late this afternoon. So if we go through to tomorrow morning, about this time tomorrow morning, and you can see the breeze now for Simon is coming from the south. It's perfect. He can just beeline straight for Cape Town. Tapio's the same. It's got a bit softer, but it's still coming from the bigger southerly component, just forward of the beam, but that's quite fast. Kirsten will have obviously altered course by then. This is tomorrow morning. She'll be coming across here by that stage, heading straight for Cape Town, and she'll have breeze. But she has lost ground here, because there's your run line, and she's sailing 90 degrees away from the run line. So every hour she's sailing this way to get back into the breeze is costing her dearly, because Simon's going straight for the mark. So it could end up being a race between Kirsten and Tapio to see who's second. But that's the name of the game, And back here, they're all in the breeze, so that's kind of cool. So keep moving that along. We'll go to, that was more 24 hours ahead. We're moving forward. You can see it's getting kind of finicky here now. Simon, we're not quite, I'll go 24 hours. You can see how it's opening up and doing funny things. There's 24 hours ahead. So that's 2 days ahead. Now, I'll do a benchmark on this to give a distance. With Simon, 2 days, he will have easily made 300 miles. And 300 miles is right up here. Where are we? He'll be around about here. So today's Thursday, so it's Friday, Saturday. Saturday he's in striking distance probably of Cape Town, and no sign of any southeasterly until he gets really close, and then it's light. So he's doing very well here on this one now. Kirsten, she should turn soon, so we'll assume that she's also going down at about 300 miles. So she's going to be up here, and you can see what's happening. It's going to go soft, and there's nothing she can do about that. She can't get around it. She'll know the wind direction is suggesting that the high is up here. The centre of the high is up here, so she's around it, around the bottom of she's gone around the centre of the high, so she's still be sailing for the mark, but it is going to be softer for us. So Simon's absolutely going to be in front here. And then if we come back to Tapio, so remembering Kirsten's going to be about here. Tapio, 300 miles. If he can make 300 miles, he's going to be ahead of Kirsten. So it looks like Kirsten, if all goes well, touch wood, could be third into Cape Town. Pat will probably therefore be fourth, because he's clearly behind Kirsten, still doing really well. He'll be up here in the breeze a bit, but he'll end up with the same issue going across this area of low wind at the head of the high. It's going to get very confusing. Now, if I start pressing the right key, it's not working, because I put the toggle switch in there to measure the distance. I've got to reactivate the slide. I've got to hit that, and once I do that, you can start to toggle it again. So you just got to reactivate it every time you do something different. So we'll go through till Sunday. There's Saturday night. Simon's still got the breeze here, holding it really well. That's kind of cool. and then Kirsten's got a bit more breeze coming up here. Tapio will be just in the bottom edge of this as well, so still could be a bit of a race between Tapio and Kirsten. Let's keep our fingers crossed. So this is Sunday morning. Simon's still sailing into Cape Town, I reckon. But at the moment, it's suggesting he might be there about midday on Sunday, and there's a race here in our Zodiac that we want to use from the... We had a big meeting with the Royal Cape Yacht Club yesterday. It was really great, and they're supporting us really well. They've got a great big rib for us to use to come out and meet the boats and pick up their films and interview them and so on. And but they've got a race on Saturday afternoon as well, so that could be fun. But anyway, we'll see how we go. So yeah, there's Sunday afternoon. So Simon's got the breeze, a southerly going all the way in, which is very cool for him. It's going to get a bit light again. There's for Kirsten and Tapio maybe coming down here just in this lot, but I think Kirsten will be about here then. She'll be striking distance and should get in sometime on Monday, and Pat will follow up after that as well. So back here though, if we now concentrate on this lot, you can see well the back end, they're going to be on the top of this high here, right? They'll be on the top of this bit, so they're going to have headwinds. So Abolish and Damien not going to be going too fast with this at that stage. Anyway, if we once again look at our benchmark between Damien and Simon, 590 miles. So Simon's flying. He's been working hard like everyone else in the fleet, and there's still that magic distance for Damien of 550 miles. He was separated going around Finisterre. He's still got basically the same distance. The amazing one is remembering where where Abolish was compared to Damien now. Bingo, 135 miles, about less than a day behind Abolish now. And so I think that's covered off on pretty well everyone. I'll do a video animation just to remind everyone again on how to do it. You can see what's been happening here in the last week. Everything's changed. I'll just take that one slot back. And to get the animation, you click the little button here on the side there, all right, that one right at the bottom. You'll see this new scale come up. Now this scale sets the speed of the video replay. So at the moment I'm putting it to a point where it's pretty fast for the replay, and then what I do is I click and drag the bottom button, slide that back, and the fleet's going backwards. You can see here the fleet's now all gone backwards, and I'll do this a couple of times because we want to concentrate on... You can't watch all the boats at the same time to watch what's happening. I'll get off of that. Damien's on the highlight at the moment, but that doesn't really matter. So now to set the video in action, you just hit the play button down the bottom here, that little black arrow, and we'll see it all start to take place. So the boats are now racing. Here's Joshua up here. There's Simon, and he's got Tapio just above him. They're neck and neck. And of course Damien was able to cut the corner, picked up hugely, and then down here, if I can pick that up a bit bigger, that might be a better rate. You can see these three. Look where Abolish is. He's right on the hammer of Tapio, right behind him. One on one. Damien's still holding his time. Holding position. Here's Goog back here going on, and then Damien stops. Everyone else is still sailing. Look at this. You've got Abolish dive south, but then for some reason he goes north, straight up into the centre. He's going to stop. Pat carries on down the bottom here, and Simon went north. Big problem, realised it, and now everything's starting to go crazy. Abolish has stopped. Damien stopped. Goog's catching up behind. I should be racing horses, I could probably do that. I don't know whether anything made sense there. So once again, because it's hard to follow all the things, but you can pick a couple of boats and you can replay the race with just two boats and watch what happens between Abolish and Damien, or you can watch what happened with Goog and the front boats. He just bores down the side here, so it's quite fun to do that replay. So I'll just give you another quick one. Remember, I've set the speed there. Now I'm going to drag it back as far back as you want to go. You can pick a couple of boats, you hit the play, and hit the play button there, and you can see him coming. I can increase the speed here just by sliding that top slider forward. You'll see him speeding up. Oh, they're rocketing down the course. Or I can, does that make sense? Here comes the benchmark. I've left that to show you relevant speeds. Or I can slow it down by dragging that back, and now it's going walking pace. So you can really watch the interactions. I can even go backwards. You can come back here and now they're actually going backwards. See that? You can go back to any particular position, see what happens, but it's more fun when they go forwards. And there we go, they're all racing, blah, 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 so you can do it again. And that's the slider scale to tell you your relevant positions. Anyway, that's about it. Everything's happening here. Sorry about the delay this morning. We're not sure what happened. It's a long one. And we'll see you tomorrow. They're getting closer. We'll give you ETA updates and so on. And for everyone in Cape Town that's watching, hope to see you out for the boats when they're coming through. It'll be a bit of fun. Thanks very much.